It's Friday, July 19, and this is your Barbados Today Evening News Update. A warm welcome to you. I'm Frenella Wedderburn. Our top story: the developers of the Blue Horizon Hotel project will have a fight on their hands if government approves the construction of the 10-story hotel on the island's south coast. At a packed and heated town hall meeting last evening, scores vented their opposition to the redevelopment plan. One of the loudest voices against the project was Cultural Ambassador Anthony Mighty Carter, a strong advocate for beach access. He insisted that the project was all wrong for the island, and he intends to put up a strong fight.
I, Gabby, would personally go there every day and stop it. I will get locked up, I will go and stop it physically and personally. You wouldn't be able to get your work done. Oh, me? I represent a couple people. Is this a couple people here? I don't have to listen to you, my friend. You don't have to listen to you. Gabby, 2 seconds. So why is he trying to stop me?
Right. 2 seconds. Thank you. Sir, if you don't mind, one at a time, okay? Thanks.
I am saying to you, right, okay. As a matter of fact, I don't talk like this, I talk like this.
Communications consultant for the developers, Devon Griffith, assured the developers would review the concerns of key interest groups.
Okay, we have been conducting a communications program over the last few weeks to hear from every Barbadian. Everybody has an opinion. Now there are a few stakeholder groups, okay? So we have first a primary stakeholder group of persons who live in the vicinity, who can be impacted directly by the project, and they have specific needs, concerns, you know, and maybe fears. And we've been listening to that, but that's one stakeholder group. Then we have another stakeholder group, which would be the businesses in the area, which would be the persons plying their trade on the beach and working around this area. And they have their own needs and expectations and so on, and we've spoken to them, and their views vary from the first stakeholder group. So of course the first stakeholder group is concerned about how this is right in my backyard, and we understand this. You know, even if your neighbor's gonna plant a tree along your fence, you're concerned, you wanna know what's going on. So we understand that the first stakeholder group, you're right in the area, and we appreciate that this impacts on you there. The person who is working on the beach, who is an entrepreneur, who is in need of having economic activity, they also have particular needs, and we can't ignore that.
Some 550 of the 1,100 public servants retrenched under the Barbados Economic Recovery Plan have received assistance from the Household Mitigation Unit headed by Corey Lane, Special Advisor to the Prime Minister on Poverty and Sustainable Development Goals. At a press conference today, he expressed concern that the majority of the displaced workers are women, and some 62% are the breadwinners of the households. He, however, reported that the unit has been able to reap some success.
And that success speaks to the fact, like for instance, in the MTW workers' cases, we've actually been able to get all their money to them yesterday. And they are extremely happy about that, and I'm happy for them. And we've had a number of companies coming on board and churches to assist as we actually, you know, get some pain to get some gain. The economy has to recover. Some measures need to be taken and needed to be taken, and we are going to come out of this on the brighter side.
Lane praised the private sector and some churches for providing jobs and other forms of assistance to the unemployed workers.
I want to thank G4S outright. They've decided to take some persons from us directly. PBS, they're working with at least 40 of them. The MTW with the cleaning program, they took on additional 62. And some other private people who own taxis and all type of different people have been reaching out to the unit, so we understand the position. can you forward us some names of some good candidates for work?
Lane, who is also driving the poverty alleviation and sustainable development goals, told reporters he's worried that several Barbadians are living below the poverty line. He explained that the recent rise in bus fares, increased water bills and other matters have seriously affected some citizens, and he's preparing an action plan to help tackle the matter. He appealed to Barbadians to be their brother's keeper.
Barbadians are known to be a proud people over the time, and that's why when I see more and more people stepping up asking for assistance, that I know that it is really bad. But where we can help, let's help. Again, I commend the churches. I know churches that step up and not only give food, they give some cash to buy food. They've given lumber to fix flooring and fix sidings and so on. And I mean generously. And these are things that I want every Barbadian that's in a position to do so, to actually do so, because it is definitely needed.
In other news, amid concerns about the safety of alternative products to banned single-use plastics, an environmental advocate is advising authorities to ban harmful alternatives. Cami Holder, Public Relations Officer of the Future Centre Trust, is however adamant that there should be no backtracking on the plastic ban. Instead, he's suggesting that Barbadians should even consider using their containers to purchase food if necessary.
There are already establishments in this country which are giving a discount as much as 50 cents or even $1 for bringing your own food containers. So I'm saying that we can reinvent ourselves. If you go to UK today as we speak, if you want to have your vegetable oil, you take your own container, your peas, your sugar, your flour, you have to take your own container. Because that is the way that most supermarkets like the co-ops and going. You have to bring your own container. So there are alternatives. So we should not move back on this ban or retard this ban whatsoever.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
Welcome back to Regional Happenings. The Guyana Elections Commissions will commence house-to-house registration from tomorrow. This is according to an order recently published in the Official Gazette. Colwyn Abrams of HGP-TV brings more in this report.
The registration exercise will begin on July 20. The order was signed by the then chairman of the Guyana Elections Commission, Justice James Patterson, on June 11, some 14 days before he resigned, after it was ruled by the Caribbean Court of Justice that his appointment was flawed. The order, cited by the National Registration Order 2019, was made in tandem with Section 6 of the National Registration Act and comes into effect on July 20, 2019. The order reads, quote, "Persons to whom this order applies shall, in accordance with Section 6 of the Act, be registered under the process of house-to-house registration," end of quote. The process will run for 3 months, ending on October 20, 2019.
On the international front, extremely hot weather has started to hit most of the United States, with temperatures set to peak over the weekend. The heat wave could affect about 200 million people in major cities like New York, Washington, and Boston on the East Coast, and the Midwest region too. In some places, temperatures could be as close to or exceed 38 degrees Celsius. Parts of Canada will also be affected.
The heat is on in the United States this weekend and temperatures are set to soar. In fact, some major centres may see their highest temperatures for a number of years. The eastern seaboard, including the Big Apple, Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, all could see temperatures in the high 30s. That's pushing 100 degrees Fahrenheit. And what's going to make it feel particularly uncomfortable is the humidity. So actually, it's going to feel a lot hotter than 38 degrees Celsius, 100 Fahrenheit. And it's the eastern 2/3 of the United States that will be feeling that heat. And in some cities, it might feel as hot as Death Valley. So let's have a look at the temperatures then in the coming days. Here's Washington, D.C., just shy of 40 degrees Celsius. That's over 100 Fahrenheit on Sunday. In New York City, temperatures at least in the high 30s. But come early next week, a dramatic change on the way, and it is expected to suddenly cool off.
And that's news. But for the very latest, visit our website, www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media and bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM. I'm Frenella Wedderburn. Do have a wonderful weekend.